Documentaries offer a powerful medium to explore the complexities of a nation's history and social fabric. Brazil, a country of continental proportions and a vibrant tapestry of cultures, has been the subject of numerous documentaries that attempt to capture its essence. These films, while informative, often present a limited perspective, shaped by the filmmaker's own lenses and biases. To truly understand Brazil, one must engage with a diverse range of documentaries, approaching each with a critical eye. Brazil's history is replete with stories of resilience, struggle, and transformation. From its indigenous roots to its colonial past, from the legacy of slavery to the rise and fall of dictatorships, Brazil's journey has been marked by both progress and setbacks. Documentaries provide a window into these historical moments, offering glimpses into the lives of ordinary people caught in the throes of change. By examining these individual stories, we can begin to unravel the larger narratives that have shaped Brazilian society. This exploration into Brazil's multifaceted reality will delve into three prominent documentaries: The Edge of Democracy, Bus 174, and Wasteland. By dissecting these documentaries, we aim to uncover a more balanced and realistic view of Brazil's past and present. The Edge of Democracy, directed by Petra Costa, portrays Brazil's recent political turmoil. It centers on the presidencies of Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and Dilma Rousseff of the Workers' Party. Costa, from a politically active family, offers a personal account of Rousseff's 2016 impeachment. The film humanizes the political figures at its heart. Lula, a former metal worker, is shown as a champion of the poor. Rousseff, a former guerrilla fighter, is depicted as a strong leader committed to social justice. Through interviews and archival footage, the film offers a glimpse into Brazilian politics. However, it has faced criticism for perceived biases due to Costa's connection to the Workers' Party. While valuable for understanding Brazil's political history, it should be approached critically. Bus 174, directed by José Padilha, transports viewers to the streets of Rio de Janeiro in the year 2000. The documentary recounts the harrowing true story of a bus hijacking that unfolded live on national television, exposing deep social and economic disparities in Brazil. Through archival footage and interviews, the film delves into the life of the hijacker, Sandro do Nascimento, scarred by poverty and violence. Padilha uses the hijacking to examine systemic issues contributing to crime and violence in Brazil. The film highlights the failings of the criminal justice system and the trauma from state-sanctioned violence. Some critics argue the focus on the hijacking overshadows broader societal context. Despite criticisms, Bus 174 remains a powerful film, compelling viewers to confront inequality and cyclical violence. By humanizing both perpetrator and victims, the documentary sparks a necessary conversation about complex social issues in Brazil. Wasteland, directed by Lucy Walker, takes viewers on a visually stunning journey to Jardim Gramacho, one of the world's largest landfills, located on the outskirts of Rio de Janeiro. The documentary follows renowned artist Vic Muniz as he collaborates with a group of catadores, the garbage pickers who risk their lives sifting through mountains of waste to salvage recyclable materials. Muniz's ambitious project involves photographing the catadores amidst the garbage, and then recreating their images as large-scale portraits using recycled materials. Wasteland is lauded for its breathtaking cinematography and its ability to shed light on the often invisible lives of the catadores. The film humanizes these individuals, highlighting their resilience, dignity, and the vital role they play in recycling and environmental sustainability. However, the documentary has also sparked debate about the ethics of representing marginalized communities through art, with some critics questioning whether Muniz's project ultimately exploits the catadores for artistic gain. While Wasteland undoubtedly raises important questions about art, representation, and social justice, it is crucial to engage with the film critically. By acknowledging the complexities and ethical dilemmas inherent in such endeavors, we can foster a more nuanced and respectful approach to engaging with stories of marginalized communities. Section 5. The Colonial Legacy, Roots of Inequality. To truly understand Brazil's present, one must delve into its past, particularly the enduring legacy of Portuguese colonialism. From the moment Pedro Álvares Cabral claimed the land for Portugal in 1500, a brutal chapter unfolded, forever altering the course of Brazilian history. The colonial enterprise was built on the exploitation of indigenous populations and their land, driven by a relentless pursuit of wealth and power. The arrival of the Portuguese marked a catastrophic turning point for Brazil's indigenous inhabitants, subjected to violence, disease, and displacement. The colonial administration imposed a rigid social hierarchy, with Europeans at the top, followed by those of mixed race, and at the bottom, the indigenous population and enslaved Africans. This colonial legacy continues to cast a long shadow over Brazilian society, manifesting in stark inequalities and racial divisions. Understanding the colonial roots of Brazil's social ills is crucial to addressing the systemic issues that plague the nation today. By acknowledging the historical injustices inflicted upon indigenous populations and enslaved Africans, we can begin to dismantle the structures of inequality and work towards a more just and equitable society for all Brazilians. Section 6. The Enduring Shadow of Slavery. Brazil's history is inextricably intertwined with the transatlantic slave trade, a dark chapter that left an indelible mark on the nation's social fabric. For over 3 centuries, millions of Africans were forcibly transported to Brazil, enduring unimaginable horrors aboard slave ships, and subjected to a life of forced labor on sugar plantations, mines, and coffee estates. The abolition of slavery in 1888, though a momentous occasion, did little to dismantle the deeply ingrained structures of racial inequality. Freed slaves were left without land, education, or economic opportunities, condemned to a life of poverty and marginalization. The legacy of slavery continues to permeate Brazilian society, manifesting in stark racial disparities in education, healthcare, employment, and representation in positions of power. Addressing the enduring shadow of slavery requires a multifaceted approach that acknowledges the historical injustices inflicted upon Afro-Brazilians and dismantles the structures that perpetuate racial inequality. Section 7. The Scars of Dictatorship. From 1964 to 1985, Brazil endured a brutal military dictatorship that left an indelible scar on the nation's psyche. The coup d'état, orchestrated with support from the United States, ushered in an era of repression, censorship, and state-sanctioned violence. Political opponents, activists, journalists, and artists were targeted, subjected to imprisonment, torture, and forced disappearance. The regime's iron fist stifled dissent, silencing any opposition to its authoritarian rule. During these dark years, fear and paranoia permeated every aspect of Brazilian life. The media was heavily censored, and freedom of expression was severely curtailed. The regime's systematic human rights abuses left a deep wound on Brazilian society, a trauma that continues to resonate today. The legacy of the dictatorship continues to shape Brazil's political landscape, with many of those responsible for the atrocities committed during the dictatorship escaping justice. Confronting the scars of the dictatorship is essential for Brazil to heal and move forward as a democratic nation. Section 8. Economic disparity, a breeding ground for unrest. Brazil, despite its vast natural resources and economic potential, continues to grapple with a persistent challenge: extreme economic inequality. While the country has witnessed periods of economic growth, the benefits have not been evenly distributed, leaving a significant portion of the population mired in poverty. The gap between the rich and the poor is staggering, with a small elite controlling a disproportionate share of the nation's wealth. This disparity manifests in stark differences in living standards, access to education, healthcare, and basic services. This economic inequality serves as a breeding ground for social unrest, crime, and violence. Addressing Brazil's economic disparity requires a multi-pronged approach that prioritizes social justice and equitable distribution of wealth. By creating a more just and equitable society, Brazil can unlock its full potential and ensure a brighter future for all its citizens. Section 9. Navigating Brazil's Future, a Call for Understanding. Brazil stands at a crossroads, grappling with the complexities of its past and the challenges of its present. To navigate the path towards a more just and equitable future, it is imperative to embrace a nuanced understanding of the historical forces that have shaped the nation. Documentaries, while offering valuable insights into Brazilian society, should be approached with a critical eye, recognizing their inherent biases. Understanding Brazil requires more than just watching documentaries. It demands a willingness to delve deeper, to question assumptions, and to challenge preconceived notions. By embracing complexity, engaging in critical dialogue, and fostering empathy and understanding, we can begin to dismantle the walls that divide us and work towards a future where all Brazilians have the opportunity to thrive.